Good evening. It's Sunday, March 25th. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast. My name's Chris Johnson, and you've tuned in to The Forgotten Right. On tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the welfare state and how welfare is robbery to those in the working class. If you haven't already, check out our website, forgottenright.com, where you can read my article on where I talk about how welfare is robbery for the working class. So you go there, click on welfare state in the blog section, and it will pull right up. See, right there it is on the forgottenright.com. So let's jump into our topic tonight. A little bit of background on things. I happen to work a 40-hour-a-week job outside of the Forgotten Right, if you can believe it. I know I can't either. I would think that I had to make enough money doing this that I wouldn't have to work. Yeah, right. But fortunately for me, I do have a decent job. Unfortunately for me, about 40% of everything that I make goes to tax. And of that 40%, about 80% of the tax that I pay goes towards social programs like welfare, like Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid. And how much of that do I get to see? Well, personally, I don't get to see any of it. Will I ever get to see Social Security at my age? Most likely not. Social Security isn't going to be there for my age group, the 30-somethings, when we decide to retire. If it happens to be there, it's going to be our children that are left holding the bag, just like we're left holding the bag for our parents and grandparents. Those who have been able to take advantage of Social Security, which is great. You've paid into it, right? Yeah, we've all paid into it. But when's enough enough? When can we say that the private sector is the best place to invest your money? Or even if you don't want to invest for retirement, is that okay too? Why does the government need to force retirement down our throats? They don't. I mean, you can't afford to live off Social Security. If you can, you're not affording a whole lot of anything. And even beyond Social Security, let's look at my favorite handout, and that's food stamps. You know, you work your butt off all week long to be able to provide for your family. Mine happens to be a family of 5. 3 kids, the wife, and myself. You go to the grocery store. You put what you can afford into the cart, which in today's age doesn't happen to be a whole lot of anything. And when you go up to the checkout line, the people in front of you have a cart full of steak, 2 liters of Coke, and every single variety of potato chips that you could ever imagine. And they get up to the line, they check out, and they pull out their food stamp card and pay for all this. Then you pay for your meager means and walk out to your car. Mine happens to be 15 years old, and you watch these people that just paid for their food with food stamps putting their food into a brand new vehicle of some sort. They wear nicer clothes than you. But you're paying for them to eat. You're trying to do it the right way. And you're the loser, right? And how's that fair? Well, overall, when it comes to welfare, if you want to check out this website, it's governmentspending.com/welfare_spending. In the fiscal year 2017, the U.S. government spent roughly $1.15 trillion on welfare. And that includes $705 billion for Medicaid and $443 billion for other types of welfare. Absolutely unbelievable amounts of handouts. And I don't think that anybody watching this show tonight, or anybody that'll watch the recording, will disagree that there are people out there that deserve help. There are people out there that are disabled. There are those people out there that need a little bit of help. We won't deny you that. The issue is when you've given up and you're unwilling to work, when you'd rather sit on the welfare rolls and not get a job, and you'd rather spread your legs and have more kids and be a single mother than you would be working in a factory supporting those kids that you created. You know, I take responsibility for what I've done. I have children of my own, and I like to pay for them. I like to be responsible for them. I like to be the man of the house. But you look at all these single mothers out there, there are no fathers, and that's a lot of the problem with what's going on here in America. But I digress. We're going back to welfare. Who's paying for all this? It wasn't my choice. It was your choice. And I'm sorry that you have to go without things. But why do I have to work? Why do I have to pay 40% of what I make, 40%, to welfare so that you can drive a nice car and wear nice clothes and fill up your car? When, let's be honest, there's a lot of times that I have to put $5 in my gas tank until payday just to make it by and hope that that makes it for me. But you get TANF, with temporary assistance for needy families. Congratulations. You're lazy and you provide nothing but maybe a complaint. And it's tax season too. This isn't as much welfare, but it's tax season. I filed my taxes. Yeah, I owed some. I did get a refund back, but I did pay. I paid more than I got back into the taxes. Of course I did, because I work, right? But you listen to these people. You know, you go anywhere, go to Walmart, you go to the grocery store, and you hear, well, I got my tax check back. Good. Did you work for it? No, you can tell that these people didn't work for it. If you don't work, what right do you have to a tax return? I don't care if you have kids. I don't care what is going on. If you're not paying into taxes, why are you getting return back? Why? Why are you getting money back? I mean, I guess it's your God-given right as a United States citizen if you want to file taxes if you didn't work. But if you didn't work and you paid no tax, then why are you getting money back for the tax rolls? Because that's just me paying you more. More of my tax money going towards you buying your 85-inch 480p television set with 3D whatever, the nicest thing in the world to go into your HUD apartment. Not cool. You know, we work hard here in the United States. We've lost jobs here in the United States. Manufacturing doesn't happen here in the United States anymore. We're forgotten. We're lost. There are people out there that do want to work and are working below what they should be doing. They're doing less because they want to support their families. They want to do what's right. They want to pay into the tax rolls. They want to make their community better. And we're paying for those who don't want to make their community better. We're paying for those who would rather be lazy and sit at home and watch Maury all day rather than tuning into the Forgotten Right on Wednesday and Sunday nights. So what do we do to change this? How do we go about changing this? Personally, I'm not big into legislating our way out of things. But this might be one thing that is worth legislating our way out of. Why can't we make a law that puts a time limit on certain handouts, like food stamps, like TANF, that says you have set a date, 1 year, to get off these things. If you're not off of it in a year, then you're going to either be severely reduced over time until it's gone or just gone all at once. And also, why are these people refusing to look for work while they're on these things? I had to accept unemployment insurance when I lost a job. And when I did that, I had to prove each week that I got the little bit of unemployment that I did, that I had applied for at least 3 jobs. I had to provide the name of the company I applied for, the person who accepted my application, their phone number, and their address. And I assume, being who I am, and knowing how the government absolutely loves me, that they did follow up on me applying for those things. Now, did I cheat on that? Absolutely not, nor would I. Was it a handout? It absolutely was not. Because I paid into that, right? Well, wrong. It was a handout. Because I'd already paid into it, but I'd probably paid for somebody else's, and then somebody else is probably paying for me. Luckily, I did find another job, a better job. Now I'm paying it back to the government, right? Or paying it back to whomever paid it to me who might be unemployed now, and I appreciate that. But you see these lifelong welfare recipients. You see the cyclical, it's cyclical in that these people, they're on it for life, then their children are on it for life, and it's a pattern. Don't you want to do better? I know that I want my kids to do better than I do. And we can do better. We should do better. And expect better from our own children. This is the first generation in the United States that's going to do worse than their parents. That's projected. My generation. And why is that? Well, there's a myriad of different ideas behind all of it. Most of all, a lot of us happen to be snowflakes, myself not included. Because I happen to like to melt snowflakes. But there are people that they don't want to listen. They don't want to do. They would rather sit on their butts in their HUD-funded apartment and accept what's given to them. They'd rather accept what's given to them than to go out and get what's theirs or do more. There's nothing wrong with doing more. There's nothing wrong with being better or wanting to better yourself, and there's nothing wrong with failure. If there was something wrong with failure, let me be the first to tell you, I would have ended a long time ago. Things haven't looked good on many different occasions for myself. I've lost jobs. I've had crappy jobs. But we get it done. My wife helps me through things, and we make it make it work. We didn't use welfare. We used our ingenuity and made things work. Isn't that the American way? Not the way of, give me more. Here's my hand. It's not. And that's why it's important to teach your kids. That's why it's important to be a parent to your children and show them the way. If you work hard, you do your best, even if you do fail once, twice, 10, 20 times, if you get back up, you're going to make it. That's the American way. But it's a sick, sad world. And I don't know what to tell you, because as much as I say legislate our way out of this, can you imagine what the Democrats would do to try, if I was, say, in Congress and I came up with that idea? They'd crucify me. Absolutely, positively would not be fair what would happen to me. It wouldn't be fair what the media would say about me, other than maybe Fox News and the Forgotten right? But it's the truth, and the people don't like to hear the truth. The truth is, the United States is in a budget crisis. We're spending more than what we ever have, and we've been doing it for a long time, and we continue to spend more and more and more. And who's paying for it? Well, I'm paying what I can, but it's going to be my kids paying it off if they don't stop borrowing, which is going to have to come to a head at some time, because who are we borrowing from? The Chinese, from these other governments? The money's going to run out, and then what? Just so that we can give somebody a bag of Doritos and tell them it's all right to not to have a job, so that the Democrats can legislate their way to a vote? That's why we need to stand up and make our voices heard. Let your legislator know how important it is that we create a balanced budget. In fact, let's not even create a balanced budget. Let's create a budget where we spend less than what we take in and pay some of this back. Because even the interest payments are going to start to kill us. And it's time that we're fiscally responsible, the same way that I have to be in my own home. Let's run the government like I run my house, with a positive amount of money in the checking account. Even if that positive amount happens to be $1, it's still positive. And I'm not paying anybody interest for what I owe. Because I make my bills, I budget things out, and we know what's going on. And I appreciate you tuning in to The Forgotten Right tonight as I banter about welfare. And I appreciate everybody that's tuned in so far to all my shows. We're going to end it on this. If you want to be lazy, do it on your own dime. Don't do it on mine. Don't do it on the back of the working class. And I don't allow my legislators to legislate the permission for people to do it on mine. And that's why I let mine know. So God bless you. Thank you for tuning into The Forgotten Right. I'll be back this Wednesday with a little bit more controversial topic than welfare, if you can believe it or not. I'm going to be talking about marijuana and what marijuana can do for us. Not as much in a health sense, because, I might have worked in the healthcare field for a little while, but more so what marijuana can do to help the government, to help tax rolls. And is it really a bad thing? So we'll dive more into that on Wednesday when you tune in at 8 p.m. on the East Coast. But until then, I appreciate you tuning in. And if you haven't already, Give us a like and make sure that you subscribe to this channel to know what's going on with us. It's easy. It's right there above, or actually below the video if you're on youtube.com. And it really helps us out. It helps us to know who's watching us. And we do appreciate that. And feel free to even give us a comment, positive, negative, or if you just want to be a troll. We appreciate it all. And most of all, we appreciate you tuning in. Until Wednesday, I'm Chris Johnson, and this has been The Forgotten Right.